When I tell people that I have over $10 million in client results, the first question out of their mouth is doing what? And how do I do it too? And today I want to answer those two questions for you. I'm going to keep this video super rough and raw. So I'm just going to hopefully get straight to the point and give you guys all of the secret sauce so I can stop answering these questions in the DMs and I can just send this video to you. So what exactly do I do and how do we generate tens of millions of dollars for our clients with social media? Guys, it is super simple, and that is monetizing a personal brand on social media. What does that actually look like? Well, there's three key ingredients to a monetized personal brand on social media. The first key ingredient is content, right? We have to be talking about something relevant and interesting to our audience. So once we have good content, the next thing is traffic. We actually need to get our content in front of our audience. And there's a ton of ways to do this, and we'll dive a little bit into each one of these in just a moment. And the last thing we need is conversion. Now I've got people looking at my content, I've got people clicking on my content. How do I turn those clicks into client, right? And so that's gonna be the last little bit of this video. I'm gonna try to dive into each one really quick so I give you guys a little bit of a broad overview. Number one, on content on social media. Content is actually way easier than you're realizing, and all you have to do is you have to talk about what you do, who you do it for, and why you're doing it. So the why you're doing it is your story. It's your passions, it's your purpose, it's what got you into this industry, it's why you care about this industry. Exactly like what makes you unique and what makes you stand out. Why do you love your product? Why does your product stand out for your competitors? And what is the worst case scenario if your clients don't actually do the thing that you are offering them, right? And then the last thing is who you do it for. So who's your audience? And so your content gets to engage with those people. In a personal brand, when you share all these things, when you share your story, what you do, and who you do it for, you're sharing a lot of the fun parts of your life, right? Your story includes what's your lifestyle look like? What's your background look like? What's your origin story? And then what's your vision for the future? What are your principles? What do you care about? All of those things are going to influence your audience, right? Because if you are a hyper-religious conservative person, you're not going to work with non-religious atheist clients. You're not going to attract those people. Maybe you'll still do business, but it's not going to be the person you naturally attract based on the language and the personality that you have. And then what you do obviously matters a ton because people need to understand your value proposition and why it matters to them. So content is super, super important. And at the end of the day, we need people to recognize and remember who we are, what we do, and why we do it. That's your brand. Right? Next thing is our traffic. We need to be able to drive traffic to that offer. There's a ton of ways to do this. The first way to do this is outbound, messaging people, hey, look at my thing. It can be extremely effective, and don't shit on outbound just because it has low conversion rates or it's scary to do. This is the cold calling of social media. I highly recommend it. It is super effective if you do it right. The next thing is affiliates or partnerships or referrals. This is like speaking in front of someone else's audience or getting tagged in someone else's post. So let's say I went and I spoke on someone else's podcast. Now suddenly their whole audience is going to see me on the podcast, and if what I share is valuable, obviously they'll come back and engage with me on my own brand. So now we've got outbound, we've got partnerships or referrals or podcasts. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do viral traffic, right? So viral traffic is when you speak to a broad enough audience or you're speaking with a controversial enough topic that everybody in the marketplace shuts up and listen. There's a ton of great examples of this. The biggest ones are usually tragedy and comedy. And so if you can tie tragedy or comedy into your stuff and go viral, it's a super, super, super great way to drive new organic traffic and attention. But of course, at the end of the day, it is inconsistent or unpredictable. And there's a few secret sauces there. There's a few recipes for virality, but at the end of the day, that's in the power of the marketplace. The last two ways we can drive traffic is going to be paid traffic. So with platforms like social medias, like all of the different meta platforms, including Instagram and Facebook, we can run ads and target our ideal audience and tell them, hey, come check out my content, or hey, look how valuable this is for you because I'm targeting you and I know exactly what your interests are. I know the inside of your head. I know your pains. I know your pleasures. I know your dreams. I know your fears. Let me speak into those things, target you through paid traffic, and attract you onto my brand. So we've got paid traffic, and the very last place is authority traffic. Authority traffic is like getting published in Forbes or New York Times or being at the top of the search list on Google or YouTube. And so that's authority-based traffic or SEO traffic, right? So now we've got all of our traffic. We've got outbound, we've got partnerships, we've got virality, we've got paid traffic, and we've got authority traffic. All of these are amazing traffic sources, and I don't want to shit on any of them. They all have different strategic use cases, right? If you have a ton of time and no money, do outbound and get on people's podcasts. If you have a ton of money and no time, you want to be featured in Forbes and New York Times and run a bunch of paid traffic. You don't want to waste your time running outbound. The last thing we have is conversions, right? how the fuck do we actually turn these clicks into clients? Well, at the end of the day, it comes down to a couple things. The first thing it comes down to is actually providing value and taking care of the people that are on your account or on your personal brand. So if you're not providing value to your audience, if you're not delivering the sauce, why the fuck would they buy from you? Why would they opt into your funnel? Why would they engage with you or ask you more questions? You have to be willing to provide your secret sauce to your audience if you're going to ask for anything in return from your audience. The second thing is, so provide value. Number two, we want to get results. And so you have to have proof that you can do it for them. And if you don't have proof, offer guarantees. And so we need to create a safety net that what we do will work for them. And this is the perceived likelihood of achievement. And so we want to increase the perceived likelihood of achievement as much as possible, either using client case studies and testimonials from the past or using guarantees that it will work for them, or both. And so now that we've provided value on the front end, and now we've created an increased perceived likelihood of achievement, or we've created a higher degree of probability that this will work for them using social proof. The last thing that we need to do is we need to make it a no-brainer offer, or an offer that feels so good or is so valuable to them, they would feel stupid saying no. A great example of this would be, if I can make you $10,000 in the next month, will you pay me $1,000 and I guarantee I'll make you the 10 grand? That's an offer. Well, fuck, if you're gonna make me $10,000, why would I not pay you $1,000? And then, you have that question of like, well, what's the catch or what's the trick here? And obviously we get to address that as well. And the last bit of this that we actually do get to address this is relationship and rapport. And so relationship and rapport is extremely valuable because we no longer live in a society where people engage with cold, dead marketing. People want personality, people want life and interest. We don't live in a society where people just want to get slammed with sales anymore. The day and age of watching 30 minutes of ads on TV that you can't skip, those days are over. People don't want to be pushed into purchasing anymore. People want to feel connected and excited about making a buying decision and empowered to make that buying decision. And so we don't want to slam our stuff down their throat. We don't want to push them to sale or use scarcity tactics or manipulative tactics. We want to be friendly and engaging and supportive and say, hey, look, we have this thing. It's super valuable. If you're interested in it, let me know, but you don't have to. There's no obligation. And that's how we actually connect and build a relationship with our audience. It's super, super simple. There's really just content, traffic, and conversions. That's really all that matters in terms of making a business that monetizes on social media. I've been doing this for the past couple of years. We've been doing tens of millions of dollars. And the number one thing that differentiates a client that gets results from the client that doesn't get results is the client that doesn't get results overcomplicates shit and just takes too long. The clients that get results just bang things out. They're obsessed with their customer. They're saying, what does our customer want? What does our customer want us to change? Where's the customer at? What is the customer talking about or engaging with? And that's what matters, being customer driven and action focused or action oriented. So guys, at the end of the day, social media, personal brands is such an insane way to monetize, especially if you already have an existing business. If you already have an existing business, it's such a great opportunity to increase a new way to build leads, a new way to establish authority in your marketplace. It's honestly goated with the sauce is the best way I can say it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter like how good you're doing it. It matters that you're doing it. A good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. So just get out there, start taking action, building your personal brand. I promise you, this is a huge opportunity to transform your business, transform your life, and actually make some really profitable cash. That's all I've got for you today. Hopefully this is valuable. I'm super excited to be dropping more secret sauce with you later on. And again, this is how I've been making all of my money. I've been building brands for people online. I've been helping people either monetize their DMs and their existing traffic, drive new traffic and finding new ways to generate traffic, or helping produce their content, right? And so if I'm helping do one of these three things or all of these three things for clients, they pay me a ridiculous amount of money. That's really all it takes. It's so much simpler than we realize. So go out there, go make a ton of money, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.